do it with intensity or not at all.
Welcome to the Intensity Podcast. I'm your host, Hans the Hammer Hartleben. And before we get started, we need to give credit and tribute where tribute is due, and that's to Hulk Hogan. Total icon for so many millions of people. Terry Bollea. And you can say, well, wrestling was fake. It's fake. You're missing the whole point. It's theatrics. It's sport theatrics. And he did it the best. Best branding, best messaging, and he did it for the longest amount of time. And just somebody that was always intense. And this is the Intensity Podcast, and we're giving a shout out to you up there, Hulk Hogan. All right, we got a great show for you today. And we're going to cover some intriguing thoughts about starting over. When do you start over? When do you cut the cord? When do you burn the bridge? You have to. Do you really have to cut that cord? Do you guys have anything in your life that's going bad right now? It's failing. Can be relationships, career, business. What is going wrong in that equation for you right now? What is failure? Failure is the lack of success in doing something. I think we all know that. But how long do you continue to blaze down that trail if you're not seeing results? If you're not getting closer to that destination or your goal? So what do you do if you get lost in the woods? You set out for some destination, like we said, and you just get turned around and you're lost. You want to go back to where you started, where you go back to the last place you knew you were, right? And start over from there. Retrace your steps back to where you had a great foundation in your bearings, mental bearings, and try it again a different way. That's what you do. In anything, business, career, relationships. But when do you cut the cord? When do you really have to burn the bridge? And do you ever have to? Do you ever really have to cut that cord? There's a time and place to burn the bridge. If other people are getting hurt, if you're getting hurt, if people around you are having a toxic effect on you or other people you love, I mean, don't continue on if somebody makes you feel terrible inside. They make you feel like shit. You need to burn the fucking bridge. It can be a person making you feel like shit. It could be a drug. It could be alcohol. It could even be food. Let's say sugar. Some of you guys are emotional eaters. That's a super prevalent condition, if you will, here. Anywhere in the world. Most people pick sugar, but then they feel like shit afterwards. Was it worth it? And they have a problem, a sugar addiction. It's real. And there's guilt associated with that. There's physical recourse. You gain weight. And you feel like shit. Cut the cord. Burn the bridge with sugar. But what if your situation can be fixed with just starting over? Different mindset. Not quitting, but just starting over. The bottom line, if it's worth saving, worth doing, just reset. Reset your mind. Hit the restart button. That's all mental. No one can tell us we can't do that. There are no rules on this. So if you're setting off to work, things are going terrible with your coworkers, your boss, anything there, no one can tell you that you can't wake up in the morning one day and have a completely different approach on this whole situation. A different mindset. A new mindset. So many of you guys, though, keep trudging down the shitty path. The definition of insanity, doing the same things over and over and expecting different results. See it all the time, every day. Why? Because it's scary to change. Uncertainty. So even if you're failing, people will grab onto the certainty of the matter. The stability. They know what they're getting. It might be shitty, it might be failure, but they know what they're getting versus the alternative of the unknown. Fear. False evidence appearing real. That's real. But you can start over. The best way to change your life is to change your mind. Mindset. Mindset matters. The brain box, the controller of our destiny. I had to start over. A lot of you know my story, and it's just a chapter. It doesn't define me. But I had a chapter in my life that I failed. I hit a dead end so hard that there wasn't any changing happening other than complete reset. Getting out, burning the bridge, if you will. Moving on, getting out of that business. Business failed. Hit rock bottom. Had to get out. No other options. But when I started over my new path, completely optimistic, taking all of those failures into consideration, but leaving them behind and rewriting the chapter. But promising myself to never, ever make those fucking mistakes again. Because they were painful. Foreclosure letter on my house. Are you kidding me? Piece of paper that said, we're going to sell your house. It's from the sheriff's department. You can't go through the same path down that same road. There is no insanity happening. I couldn't go through it again. So I started over. You don't have to hit bankruptcy and ultimate failure to start over. That's my point. You can just start over, like right now. Your relationship, a lot of fighting, arguing every day. Take a different approach. Go into it with a different mindset. Give your spouse a hug. Do more around the house. If they're complaining that you're not doing anything around the house, start right now and do it. Because if they're worth keeping, you're worth changing. They're worth changing for. Can't be fear associated with that, right? Just laziness and stubbornness. Pride. What pride? Going to lose a relationship for pride? Again, unless they're toxic, they're not worth keeping. We already talked about that. Then get rid of it. You got to know the difference. But no matter what, even if you keep hitting brick walls in different directions, don't keep trudging down the same path and getting nowhere because you're wasting time. You're wasting your life away. And your mistakes are not final. And they're not you. Like I said, my mistakes in my chapter, just one of those chapters, they don't define me at all. They helped me to become successful today. So start over. What are some examples of situations you could start over? You're going to the gym. You're going to Planet Fitness. You're going every morning, and you've been going for 2 months, doing the same things, and you're not seeing any results. Go in with a different mindset. Do some different exercises. Don't just, well, that's what I do. I hit the treadmill for 35 minutes, and I go do 3 push-ups, half a pull-up. That's just what I do. Well, it's not, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, of course. But it sounds like it was never put together. Sounds like it's still sitting in the package waiting to be assembled. You got to go a different route here, buddy. Go in with a different mindset. If you're at a gym and you're hearing this, do something different tomorrow or tonight, today. The next time you enter that gym, completely different mindset and exercise regimen. Get out of your comfort zone. Well, I don't know what to do. The whole fucking internet is filled with shit to do for exercise. There's no shortage of exercises online. So don't give me that crap. I hear it all the time. What if your sales are going nowhere? I've seen so many salesmen. Same things over and over. They were sold 10 cars a month. I see with Fire Fitness Camp, some of our franchisees, they're at a certain revenue every single month because of their mindset. It's exactly where they are. A tornado could hit, or they could get a gift. It doesn't matter. They're at the same number because they're doing the same things. But they're expecting different numbers, different membership rates, more sales. They're expecting that. I don't even know if they're expecting. They're hoping. We see a lot of hopers. And that stuff does not happen without change, without changing your mindset. Good time to plug the sponsor. Rehab Supplements Lab, unlocking human potential, specializing in cutting-edge and sophisticated health supplements. RehabSups.com. Live long, live strong. RehabSups.com. We have some awesome products on there, guys. Take a peek. It was a cool story. CEO of Starbucks. Talk about starting over. Just kind of looking through the internet. And this one's a little different. First of all, I didn't know. Name's Howard Schultz, Starbucks CEO, for the most part. But he worked at Starbucks when he got out of college. Howard Schultz worked at Starbucks. He loved it. And this was in the early 80s. So he was an employee. And he wanted to take Starbucks nationwide. And he had an idea. He met with a couple folks there at that local, I think there's just a couple of them, Starbucks. And they said no, they weren't interested. So he started his own brand of coffee. Long story short, he eventually bought Starbucks, the company that he wanted to work for and did work for, and grew it very well. In 2000, the year 2000, he stepped down as CEO. Starbucks kept growing slowly, but the brand became diluted. Customer experience suffered, and profits slipped. Critics said it was over. He could have walked away a rich man, but instead he started over again. In 2008, in his mid-50s, after he stepped away and stepped down as CEO in 2000, 8 years later, after it's failing now, he returned as the CEO. He came back in his mid-50s. Stock had fallen in half. He had to shut down hundreds of stores, laid off thousands of workers, and he retrained every single barista in America to pour espresso the right way. Went back to the basics. Had a different mindset. It was already a big company, but it was failing. It was on its way down. So his mindset was get back to the basics and show them and train them on the right way to pour the coffee. Rebuild its culture and reclaim its brand. It worked. Starbucks rebounded under Schultz. By the time he stepped down again in 2017, they had 25,000 locations. $80 billion. So it's interesting. I didn't know that. I like Starbucks a little more now, knowing that. How to change. Okay, you want to change. Here's a few bullet points here. Own your mistakes. That's got to be number one. No shame, but own them. Don't beat yourself up over it. Get over it, but own the faults. No excuses. Don't sugarcoat it. Call it what it is, failure. Then take the emotion out of it and use that like data. That's what I did. I have no emotion over that anymore, failing. It's just information and data. Extract the lesson. I sure did. Large lesson, painful lesson. Ask yourself, what did I ignore? What can I do better? Write it down. Something about write it down. I like the pen and paper myself. I make a connection with that pad of paper with the pen. More mentally sound. Stronger signals. Failure is feedback. Learn fast and move forward. Kill the old story. Stop saying I messed up. Stop acknowledging that and bringing that emotion into it. The old version of you, it's gone. Bury it. That's just mental stuff. That was the old version of you. Is it still you? Yes. But disconnect mentally. Our brains are so capable of these large tasks. Replace your mindset with the new one. That's what we're talking about here. Create a clear micro plan. Don't aim for a life overhaul overnight. Get small concrete steps and set yourself up with accountability. Just move. Trim the dead weight. Cut the ties with toxic people. I talked about this. The bad habits, the distractions, any of those things that help you fail before, you got to cut them off. Fuel the fire, not the fear. Get around hungry people. There's not enough hungry people around anymore. Maybe it's where I am. I don't know. But man, competition is healthy. Competition is good, fun, and lucrative. Watch, listen, and learn from those who've been to hell and back. I've been to hell and back financially, emotionally. I told you my story of depression. Big part of the reason I'm doing this show. I'm bringing on go-getters, successful people. If you can take something from these people, or even myself, to help you excel forward, it's working. It's worth listening to. Build a daily discipline. Isn't that the truth? Show up even when it's ugly. You've heard that 1,000 times. Sometimes you just have to show up. But is showing up, just showing up alone, does that get you where you want to be? No. That's not going to make you an ultimate success. You got to do more than show up. But first you got to show up. And on time. Sweat, learn, and build. Exercise is a huge component, guys. You're not chasing redemption, you're constructing something new. Starting over isn't weakness, it's power. That's your blueprint of starting over. So I hope you got a little something from this. If you're feeling some strain in a relationship or a career, your business, you don't have to throw in the towel. You don't have to quit. Just revamp your mind. Change your mind. All right. Little singing action. What do we got here? Let's see if this works. Little idea here. Little fun maybe. Fun for me anyways. You got to suffer through it. Turn around.
Every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you're never coming around.
Turn around.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of my tears.
Turn around.
Every now and then I get a little bit nervous that the best of all the years have gone by.
Turn around.
Every now and then I get a little bit terrified and see the fucking look in your eye. Yeah, buddy! It's the Intensity Podcast. You do it with intensity.
We're not at all. This